Alright, eczema and the outside world. What's up, you guys? How's it going? I thought I would come to you with a video today about contact dermatitis versus systemic or chronic dermatitis. And what prompted me to make this video is this concept. It's been rolling around in my mind since I've had eczema starting 10 plus years ago, is that perhaps our bodies are just super sensitive and inclined to get triggered by tons of things in our environment. That it's not what's going on inside our body, it's the outside world that's triggering us. So these like 5 or 6 things that are from our external environment, things we come in contact with, the air, the humidity, ingredients, products, it could even be chemicals or plants like in the garden. These may be triggers, but I don't necessarily think they are the cause of eczema. It's something that can set your eczema off and cause like a short period of time when you're like itchy or something like that. Or even cause like a little, itchy patch or something. But in the long term, if you have like patches of eczema that have been there for like a low and slow burn, and it's been there for a while, that's a systemic eczema. That's something to do with what's going on inside your body, not the outside world. And as I get, further and further in this path of recovery, I start to notice I get less and less sensitive to those outside environmental factors. The weather, the humidity, the raw ingredients, the preparing food in the kitchen, even things like excessive hand washing doesn't dry out my hand, doesn't cause itchiness. So the body can be resilient, at least in my case, from my personal experience healing twice now. When you fix up the issues going on inside your body that are causing the skin to show up as eczema on the outside, you begin to see that the body is actually super robust and resilient, and it doesn't, bend to all these like shitty outside environmental triggers. What actually does cause eczema, or what I have noticed through my experience, but also through talking with Goji Man, who's a qualified nutritionist in plant-based nutrition, and also noticing this through trial and error through myself and other people who have done this, is that food is a huge trigger. What you're putting in, so your food, drinks, drugs, and meds. And from my personal daily habits, the things that were causing me eczema were things like processed foods, refined sugars and oils. So processed foods like, vegan burgers or chips or cookies and snacks and like that. Refined sugars and oils like your white sugar, your extra virgin olive oil, your butters, your nut butters, peanut butters. Then it dips into animal products like your eggs and dairy, or a super that was the first thing that I really cut out when I was healing my skin, and I noticed a significant improvement. Those were almost overnight triggers. So that's something worth considering. If you're not going to go vegan overnight, I do suggest cutting out the eggs and dairy first and foremost before anything else. Other things, your wheat and soy, mostly because they're high in histamine, salicylate, and oxalates, which also are found in other plant foods. So if you want to be safe, and if you want to do this without taking on medical testing first, as I would highly recommend, to know what you're dealing with before tackling it with a treatment plan. If you just want to do this as a trial and error because you don't have too severe of an eczema, or you're willing to wait a couple months, go for it. Cut out the histamines, oxalates, and salicylates. I'll link up a whole sheet where you can find where these foods fall on low to medium to high in these compounds. But basically, if you stay away from these 3 compounds, potentially your body can sort out the food sensitivity issues and the digestional issues it's got, and eventually you'll be at a place where you can properly break down your histamines, salicylates, and oxalates, and you can return to eating a whole host of fruits and vegetables, beans, nuts, and seeds, and potentially wheat and soy. It's just fixing that gut dysbiosis in order for you to sort of sort out your skin issues. Now, if you go down that route, if you decide to take a holistic approach and you're starting to consider using food as your medicine as opposed to blaming the external environment, it's going to take some time. I would dedicate 6 to 8 months of changing your diet and lifestyle practices in accordance to helping heal your eczema. The main point being is that you can be in control and you can have a strong and resilient body. You don't have to be at the mercy of your environment, or not be able to exercise or go into dry or humid or cold places. You can be confident, strong, and resilient. And that comes with maybe changing your lifestyle and dietary practices, but I think it's well worth it, and you're blessed with super freaking strong skin and a glowing body. So just to give you an idea of some of the foods that I'm eating now that I'm, in the recovery process, but also pretty much recovered 99%, I still focus on a whole foods plant-based diet. There are some more, junky foods, but I take very good care to keep that to a very, to a minimum, because I know how precious it is to have my health. So my main focus is, again, it's quite a high carbohydrate diet, very rich in fruits and vegetables, and my staples are basically rice, beans, and potatoes. Everything else, it kind of changes from week to week, the veggies, the fruits, and all that. So I'll show you guys what I've got in my kitchen to give you an example of just how simple this is, but also it can be very delicious. You got to wrap your head around this new lifestyle, this new way of eating, and you just fucking convince yourself that this is how life is going to be if you want to have clear skin. And within that, you enjoy the food. So, I've got in these 2 buckets. We've got here white rice and brown rice. Simple, always available. Got quinoa, potatoes, oats, rice pastas, and chickpea pasta. So there's still some snack foods. Avocados, some bananas and mangoes, peaches, some veggies in there, whatever. This is my roommate's bread. Raisins in the freezer, frozen veggies, frozen fruit. Some lentils and rice I made, oat milk, pretty low in processed foods and stuff like that. Got some fruits, veggies down here, more veggies, tons of sauerkraut, this kind of sauerkraut, that kind of sauerkraut, just constantly have it on hand. Oatmeal fixins, your toppings or whatever, coconut seeds, whatever that is. Some of these supplement stuff, your chlorella, micronutrient, maca, very nice. I do have sunflower seed butter. It's not something I indulge in, but it's good. It's better than nut butter because I'm allergic. And the supplements that I take, so kelp. I used to take these during the healing phase, but not so much anymore. These are more like gut health supplements. Now it's pretty much just the kelp and the nori. And then the last 2, vitamin D and B12. So, as you can see, it's pretty simple. It's not a complicated or boring diet. I really enjoy it. There's a lot of variety for me, and I don't know, I just feel really wholesome and really just grateful to be able to eat foods that make me feel good but also help me heal. I used to have a very processed food and junk food rich diet, and I just felt kind of guilty and shitty all the time, and now I feel a lot better and a lot more wholesome. So hope that helps you guys. See you in the next video. Peace.